Faster access to guns and officers working in pairs are on the cards following a spate of shootings. The government says it's in discussion with police bosses about more protection for frontline police. 2 separate shootings, one in Hamilton, one in Auckland, within the space of 24 hours has underlined the threat. It comes as the trial continues with the man accused of killing Constable Matthew Hunt during a routine traffic stop in Massey just over a year ago. Harry Locke reports.
It began on Church Street in the Auckland suburb of Penrose as a man walked into a second-hand car dealership and grabbed a bunch of key fobs.
Somehow he went into our office. He took the key. He took 6 keys in total.
That's owner of Youth Garage Wilson Zhu. He was driving into his car yard when he saw the offender sitting in the driver's seat of a BMW X5. In a flash, the BMW was being driven straight at him.
I went out of the car. I tried to stop him. And he just tried to went into me. I dodged that and he just went out of the gate.
Mr. Zhu immediately called the police, who then used a helicopter to follow the man's movements. The offender crashed the car outside a Z petrol station on Great South Road. He then commandeered a new car after holding a gun to a member of the public's head, as police shot at him. He headed south, crashing again at a junction with the South Eastern Highway. Once again, he held his gun to a member of the public's head. When that bystander fled, the offender was then shot in the torso by the police. The events came just hours after a gunfight in Hamilton ended with police shooting a man dead. The president of the Police Association, Chris Cahill, says more and more police are facing life-threatening risks.
It's just cementing that idea that the risks out there and the correct idea are greater and increasing all the time. There's many other events that haven't made the headlines that could have turned into these situations.
He says the gun buyback scheme and the gun registry will help in the medium to long term. But shorter term, he wants to see the faster deployment of armed offender squads.
Obviously, the model of AOS officers is a call-out, deploy from far away, have to go in, arm themselves and then go to a job. That creates significant delay. Having a model that would allow more highly trained officers with firearms to deploy quicker, that's something that needs to be investigated.
He also wants better and more frequent training for officers. Police Minister Poto Williams says some changes have already been made, such as the trial of the Frontline Safety Improvement Programme set up in the wake of Matthew Hunt's death.
From the reports I'm getting back from officers who are undertaking that, it's actually making a real difference. Recently, the Commissioner and I spoke about how we can roll that out further and what other measures we can take to support the police.
Poto Williams says while the police remain unarmed for very good reasons, more firepower may be required for certain situations.
There are some great specialist teams and there might be a need to look at how we put other specialist teams in place or other ways that we can support our police to do the job that they do. So one of the things was raised about the potential for double crewing.
The Police Association supports officers working in pairs, pointing to UK research which claims it is both safer and more likely to produce results.
And that was Harry Locke reporting there.